Hello and welcome back to another video on Respect and to AEW Double or Nothing 2023 out of 10. An AEW pay-per-view, big card. We've got Anarchy in the arena, we've got the fatal four-way between the four pillars, big matches like that. And yeah, the pre-show saw the Hardys and Hook defeat Ethan Page in a Guns Fire submission, meaning Page's contract now belongs to Matt Hardy, which will be quite interesting to see in the coming weeks of Dynamite and Rampage and even Collision, how that all progresses. But let's get into the main card, and we started things off with the Blackjack Battle Royale. For Orange Cassidy's AEW International Championship. And chaos ensued in the initial stage of the match with Kip Sabian looking to eliminate Orange Cassidy but failing to do so. Commander hit a top rope on Big Bill and Lee Moriarty. Bandido held Tony Nese to a vertical suplex as the other stars battled all around. Josh Woods and Nese were eliminated. Ray Phoenix then hit a kick to eliminate Ori Davari. Brian Cage entered the match and took down Commander. Bandido lifted Cage briefly but the latter hit a money flip on him. The Lucha Bros then double team Cage. Commander was eliminated by Jay White. Ricky Starks hung onto the ropes and barely survived the match. Kit Sabian was eliminated. Big Bill shook out Chuck Taylor. The Blade was eliminated by Keith Lee. Swerve Strickland still hadn't entered. He fought the Limitless One in the middle of the ring. Bandido was eliminated by Lee Moriarty. However, he was thrown out shortly after. Trent Barretta sacrificed himself for Orange Cassidy. Keith Lee looked to eliminate Strickland. However, Cage knocked him over the ropes. Penta Zero M and Ray Phoenix took each other out after some confusion. Penta and White battled in the middle of the ring before Ricky Starks hit a spear on White and eliminated him. Bullet Club Gold then attacked the Absolute. Starks fought with Big Bill, but the latter eliminated the former FTW champion. Dustin Rose took out Brian Cage and Swerve Strickland eliminated him. Strickland, Big Bill, Penta and OC were the final four competitors. Penta hit a sling blade on Swerve and followed it out with a backstab on Cassidy. Big Bill then hit a big boot eliminating Penta. Big Bill looked to eliminate Cassidy, but Swerve eliminated him. Towards the end, Cassidy hit Stun Dog Mania, but Swerve retaliated with a kick. A distraction from Prince Dana gave Strickland the chance to hit the Swerve Stomp. Cassidy responded with a series of DDTs and followed out with the Orange Punch. He went for another, but Swerve held the champion on the apron. Both stars battled on the apron. Orange Cassidy kicked Swerve Strickland's hand to eliminate him and retain the title. And yeah, this gets an 8 out of 10 for me. It was a brilliant way to kick off the show, I thought. Probably one of the best battle royals AEW's done, really, at least from what I can remember. Cassidy retaining is the right decision, but so many stars got rubs here. And yeah, Cassidy and his brilliant title reign continue. It was then time for the unsanctioned match between Orange and Cole and Chris Jericho. A brawl ensued to start things off. Jericho and his appreciation side had the number advantage. Jericho and Sabu had chairs in their hands and they exchanged multiple strikes. The ECW veteran took out Menard with a dive through the table before Cole and Jericho fought in the ring before Cole threw his opponent to the outside. He targeted Jericho's knee and slammed it on the turnbuckle. The Ocho then caught Cole and hit a suplex on the concrete at the ringside area. He then dropped Cole face first on the apron. Jericho unloaded chops on a Panama City Playboy. Cole then looked to make a comeback, but Jericho hit Lariat to take him down. A chair was placed between the ropes, but Jericho himself crashed onto the weapon. Cole hit a punt kick, but Jericho stopped his momentum. Jericho applied the Lion Tamer, but Cole used the fire extinguisher to get out of the submission hold. He then slammed the extinguisher on Jericho's face and got a 2. Jericho then looked to hit some shots, but fell down on the mat. However, he got a 2 count shortly after and used the fire extinguisher on Cole. The Ochi then brought a kendo stick before Britt Baker ran down to the ring with another kendo stick in hand, unloaded on Jericho. Saraya came out but got attacked by a kendo stick as well. Jericho slammed Cole's head on the apron and brought out a steel chain. Cole retaliated with a DDT on the chain and got a 2 count. He trapped Jericho with a handcuff and got a super kick. Cole then hit a Panama Sunrise for another 2 count and he went for the boom, but Jericho rolled him up for a 2 count. The Ocho then choked Cole from the steel chain. The Panama City Playboy retaliated with a 2 kick and followed out with a boom and then wrapped the chain around his knee and hit another boom kick. Cole unloaded with right hand strikes as Jericho was busted open. Aubrey able to stop the match as Jericho was unable to defend himself and Adam Cole was declared the winner. And yeah, it was really good. I think the viciousness, the injury that Cole's had also really played into it really nicely and created the really good match. It gets 7 out of 10 for me. Bit of a decisive finish. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but I can kind of see where they did it. Made Cole look good as well. So yeah, it gets 7 out of 10. Like how it all was intertwined in this match. It's then time for FTR versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal for the World Tag Team Championship. Harwood and Lethal started the match. Both stars squared in the middle of the ring before Lethal took Harwood down with a shoulder tackle. The two men exchanged vicious looking chops and Lethal took his opponent down with a shoulder strike. All 4 men brawled in the middle of the ring and got FTR the upper hand in that exchange. Mark Briscoe then looked to slot Jeff Jarrett but took him down instead. FTR hit a double team back body drop on Jay Lethal and followed by battling the challengers at the ringside area. Jarrett then looked to use a steel chair, however Briscoe caught him. Jay Lethal then looked to hit a flying move, but Dax Harwood stopped and hit the suplex. Jeff Jarrett then looked to hit Harwood with a guitar, but hit Mark Briscoe instead. FTR hit the Shatter Machine, but there was no referee. Aubrey then ran down to the ring, but she got stopped by Sonjay Dutt. Karen Jarrett then hit Edwards with a guitar to take her out. Jay Lethal then hit a lethal injection, and after some underhanded means, Jarrett hit the stroke for a 2 count. He then slapped Mark Briscoe, but the latter retaliated with a stroke, and it led to FTR hitting the Shatter Machine and retaining their title. And yeah, it gets a 7 out of 10 from me. This was good stuff. I mean, really good match as well. Like how they all played it in. Mark Briscoe there, I think, really added something after the stuff we've seen on TV the last few weeks as well. So yeah, this was all really nicely. 2 over teams and Mark Briscoe in there as well. Was not ever going to be bad, was it? It was then time for Wardlow versus Christian Cage for the TNT title. Christian hit a kick early on, but Wardlow used his power to overwhelm Captain Charisma. The 2 stars battled at the ringside area, and Mr. Mayhem looked to bring a ladder inside the ring. However, Cage hit a baseball slide and stopped him. Wardlow then set up a couple of tables at the ringside area and slammed Cage's face on the steel steps and laid him on the table. The TNT champion looked to hit a splash on the table, but Cage moved out of the way. He hit a ladder to make his comeback in the match. The ladder was set out like a bridge, and Christian Cage dropped Wardlow on the weapon. Cage then stomped on the champion, but Wardlow responded by slamming him onto the ladder. Captain Charisma hit a catapult on the ladder to get the upper hand in the contest and climbed up the ladder to retrieve the title, but Wardlow stopped him. After a back and forth, Mr. Mayhem hit a power slam on Cage and spun him around before dropping on the top of the ladder. Wardlow climbed up the ladder, but Luchasaurus ran down to the ring. Christian Cage dropped Wardlow from the ladder. However, Wardlow slammed Cage on the ladder and looked to hit Swanton in the middle of the ring, but Christian Cage moved out of the way. Cage then took advantage and tried to retrieve the title, but Wardlow climbed the ladder and it broke. Luchasaurus entered the ring and hit a couple of choke slams. Arn Anderson confronted him and bit Luchasaurus aside. Wardlow hit a few chair shots on Luchasaurus and placed him on the tables at ringside. Mr. Mayhem got up on the tallest ladder and hit a swanton on Luchasaurus. Cage sneakily sat up the ladder and looked to retrieve the title, but Anderson dropped the ladder and Wardlow powerbomb Christian. The champion then climbed up and was finally unable to unhook the championship to get out of the win. And Jay gets 7 out of 10 from me. I don't know, it was a pretty good ladder match. Enjoyed all the chaotic spots. Wardlow retaining, definitely the right decision. I think Christian Cage was kind of the right first opponent for him as well. I think it all worked really nicely. So yeah, good stuff on whole. Gets 7 out of 10 from me. Jamie Hayter then took on Toni Storm for the Women's World Championship. Saraya and Ruby Soho attacked Hayter on the entrance ramp, and the Outcasts assaulted Hayter at the ringside area as the match started. Storm hit the kick out early on and got a 2 count. After a back and forth, Saraya looked to remove the padding in the turnbuckle, but Bray Raker ran down to the ring and fought her. Ruby Soho removed the padding and then sprayed green mist shortly after on Hayter. Toni Storm took advantage with a hip attack on for a 2. Sheeta then attacked Soho with a kendo stick and took her out. Hayter shoved Storm on the exposed turnbuckle and hit the Haterade, but failed to get the phrase. She then went for another Haterade, but Toni Storm pushed her to the turnbuckle and quickly hit the Storm Zero to win the women's title. And yeah, I think we all knew this was kind of coming based on the media reports. Don't think Kamistar was ready to wrestle, but credit for her doing it. Toni Storm gets a proper title reign this time. So yeah, 6 out of 10. Good stuff, but of course was kind of limited. House of Black then took on the Acclaimed for the Trios Championship. Bowens and Black started the match, and after a back and forth, Black hit a kick on Bowens and tagged in Buddy Matthews. The Acclaimed member then made his comeback with an elbow to Matthews' face and followed out with a lariat. Max Caster was tagged in, but he got a double team by Malachi Black and Brody King. Bowens was tagged in. The Acclaimed looked to hit the Sesame Timbers on Black. However, House of Black stopped the attack. The champions were in complete control during this phase of the match as Bowens failed to make the tag. Towards the end, all men battled and Anthony Bowens finally made the tag to Billy Gunn, and the veteran unloaded a flurry of offense and hit a tail-to-well on Buddy Matthews before taking out Black. He then hit a famous on Brody King, and Matthews hit an end scary on Gunn, but he responded with another famous and Black took advantage and hit the end to pick up the victory. And Jack gets 7 out of 10. Yeah, it was just really entertaining, fun match this was. Not too much doubt about where it's going to go, but the daddy ass bits was fun and all of that. And yeah, just an entertaining match, so it gets 7 out of 10 from me. Good stuff. It was then time for Jade Cargill versus Ty Valkyrie for the TOES title. Both stars exchanged strikes in the early stage and looked to hit respective finishes. Ty Valkyrie hit a sliding area as Jade Cargill retreated to the outside. Valkyrie hit a dive on Mark Sterling, but Cargill took her down. Valkyrie hung the champion to the outs on the middle rope and dragged her down to the mat. Cargill recovered and hit a suplex on the floor. She then hit a spine buster for a 2 count, and 2 stars fought at ringside and Cargill dropped Valkyrie on the barricade. The champion continued her momentum and applied submission moves in the middle of the ring. Ty Valkyrie responded with a lariat and got a 2 count. Jade then stopped her and took her down with consecutive strikes. She then applied a sleeper hold, but Valkyrie responded with a sit-down blue thunderbomb. Cargo went for a springboard, but Valkyrie got her knees up. The Rare Roker then applied a submission move before hitting a curl stomp for a 2 count. A distraction from Layla then allowed Cargo to get a 2 count. After them back on 4th action, Tyler Valkyrie hit the road to Valhalla, but only got a 2. Shortly after, Cargo recovered and hit Jada to retain her title. Post-match, Mark Sterling hiked at Jade Cargo's streak and said that she's ready to defend her title anywhere, anytime, but there are no challenges. Suddenly, Chris Statlander made her return, and a match started for the TBS Championship. And after a short match, Statlander defeated Cargo to end Cargo's streak and become new TBS champion. And yeah, this was really shocking. Thought Statlander would be the one to dethrone her, but wasn't expecting it to be as soon as this. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's a good move. Cargo going to go away, then get in with the women's title you suspect, and that's what she deserves. Great to see Chris Statlander back in a position she deserves as well. It'd be interesting to see how it plays out with Valkyrie and all there. But this is great stuff. 7 out of 10 for me. Liked it. It was then time for the Pillars' fatal 4-way for the AEW World Championship. MJF rolled to the ring to start the match, however the other Pillars colonized him and beat him up. They took turns to unload on Devil before fighting London Surge. Jack Perry hit a double R on Dragon, Sammy Guevara and Darby Allin before MJF returned to take him out. Allin hit a dropkick and Perry followed out with top rates to the scenes on the outside. Guevara then hit a shooting star press and all 3 men at ringside. Perry hit a German suplex on Allin. He also caught MJF out. He then hit a lariat on the champion and followed out with a poison runner on Guevara for a 2. Darby hit a stunner and followed out with a side headlock takeover for a 2 count, and this time it was Guevara's turn and hit a Spanish fly followed by a frog splash for a 2. MJF responded by biting Guevara and hitting a power driver on Allin for a 2. At one point, Allin hit a scorpion death drop on MJF. Guevara hit a code breaker on Allin. Perry hit the unprettier on Guevara before MJF hit the crossroads on Perry for a 2, which was a really nice count. Towards the end, Perry looked to use the title on Darby, but decided against the hesitation cost him as Allin rolled him up for a 2 count. Sammy Guevara then came in and GTH, but got taken up by Allin. Allin hit the coffin drop on Perry, but MJF had placed the title on his chest and Allin got out as well. The Devil rolled Perry out of the ring and hit the side headlock takeover for the win. And yeah, this gets a 9 out of 10 for me. This was an absolutely brilliant match. Yeah, probably one of the best fatal 4-ways I've ever seen, to be honest. Just absolutely brilliant. MJF reigning as top. I don't think that was ever really in doubt, but there's some really nice spots in there, the crossroads spot, etc, etc. And yeah, Jack Perry refuses to get the title back. I don't know what to think of that, but yeah, on the whole, it's just a really good bloody match. 9 out of 10 from me. It was then time for Black Pearl Combat Club versus the Elite in Anarchy in the Arena. Both factions in the crowd started the match. Moxley leaked onto Omega before sending him to the announcers table. Claudio Castagnoli used the steel chair on Omega before Moxley applied a figure 4 leg lock. Danielson and Page fought in the ring and the latter hit a massive lariat. He then removed his eye patch and looked to attack a screwdriver. However, Yuta stopped him. All men were in the ring and the Elite unloaded on the BCC members on all 4 corners of the ring. The Young Bucks chased with Danielson and Claudio on the entrance ramp before taking the lead singer as the band that was playing the music. Chaos all around as Claudio Castagnoli and Matt Jackson fought in the crowd. Back inside the ring, Danielson choked Page with a top rate suicide. Mox then hit a black body drop on Omega while dropping him on top of the barbed wire. Meanwhile, Claudio dropped Matt onto the trash can with a giant swing. After some violent action, Nick Jackson got taken down with a King Toll lariat by Moxie and then hit a Gotch style power driver for a 2. At one point, BTT removed Matt Jackson's shoe and dropped him onto the Talon tacks. He then hit some thumbtacks put on the side of his mouth, and Claudio hit an uppercut as Page broke up the pinfall attempt. Towards the end, Page and Omega battled the BCC members. Page hit a dead eye on Danielson and Omega followed out with one winged angel, but Yuta made the save. Don Callis appeared out of nowhere for a distraction, but before Omega could take his revenge, someone had attacked Page and a cleaner, and it turned out to be Konosuke Takeshita. Wheelie Yuta took advantage and pinned Omega to get the win for the BCC. And yeah, this was a brilliant ending. 9 out of 10. Absolute banger match. No serious injury, thank God. But yeah, a brilliant match. Violent, and then the storytelling at the end was delightful. Wheelie Yuta getting a pinfall victory. It's big for him, of course. So yeah, on the whole, it was just an absolutely brilliant main event and gets 9 out of 10 from me. Just really can't wait to see where the storyline advances now, to be honest. Overall, Double or Nothing gets an 8 out of 10 from me. Yeah, I thought it was a really, really good pay-per-view, especially the last 2 matches. Some really interesting and good matches throughout the card as well. I love the Battle Royal to kick things off. Chris Statlander, TBS champion, you love to see it. But yeah, I think it was the last 2 matches that really stood out for me and turned it into a good show to what was probably a great show. But anyway, guys, that's it for you. Thanks very much for watching. To like, share, subscribe. Notes, lots of comments for daily wrestling news and subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.